cost of
Mhm.
living is
I was just getting ready to go into that. So the average renter, how close are they to being homeless?
they they're very close. They're paycheck to paycheck. Unless you're making a six-figure salary, it's almost impossible to afford or to avoid homelessness, especially if you have a child.
And this is we're talking when we say six figure, we're looking at New York City, New York, itself, the state, because the average person does not make that kind of income, especially here in Carolina. I know I ain't making that kind of money. So let's just be very very clear, everyone, that
Right.
we know the average person, but in New York alone, the average salary looks like what?
The average salary. Okay, so let's do the math. Um, the average
Boy, this is
salary.
where I used to have you do all the math when we were in school.
Well, let's do the math. The average monthly rent is 1956 in New York. That's
In New
that's
York?
yes.
For, like, a one-bedroom or a two-bedroom? Like, what is this giving you for that?
That's a one bedroom. The average rent is
Wow.
1956 per month,
Okay, right.
which is 23,000 per year. Now, if you're only making, let's just start with minimum wage. You're making
My
minimum
god.
wage. You're making minimum wage, which is $15, I want to say now in New York. That brings you out to roughly 31,000 per year that you're making. Your
You
your
still
rent is
can't eat, you still
23,000.
can't yeah, you can't eat, you can barely get back and forth to work,
You
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 gotta
can't
still pay
you
lights.
you can't do anything because your lights is taking up the remainder of that.
Right.
And that's
You
just
need
one.
lights.
You
Now,
you
so
need
in New York, is there how does the utilities go? Do you have your power bill, your gas? Is there gas? And, how does it go? I know in certain places it's different.
yeah, it depends on where you reside. You have
Okay.
if you're in a private residence, you're gonna be paying electricity and either gas or water. Not as much water in New York. That's more so like New Jersey, but
Okay.
you will be paying electricity and gas. Now you may get an all inclusive landlord who
Right.
you're always going to pay lights, but your gas might be included.
And let's be very, very transparent with everybody. We now understand that internet is essential. It's essential. So that is now part of gas, electric, water, you know, internet. Those are the things that you're gonna have to have when you're in housing, when you're living on your own. You can't go without it at this point. And we realized that during COVID, how many people were without essential internet access.
Absolutely.
So that's part of the bills now.
That's
We have
another
to
bill.
factor
That's
that in.
another
Yeah.
at least $200.
My
Unless
gosh.
you're on public assistance and you're able to, gain access to the affordable internet plans that they have that are free, it's almost impossible off of that base salary. And that's just $15 minimum, per hour. There are a lot of jobs that are not even paying that.